I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, there are those days during Dephemerember where I feel like in a really popular quiz show. Do you know those quiz shows with these really difficult questions? I think so. And then the moderator asks the final question, you know, this one where you can win the money, a ton of money. And you think, oh, I know the answer, and you are really like close in front of this thought, I will win the money. And then you hold your hand over this red thing, this buzzer, I think is the word. I think it's buzzer in English as well, isn't it? I mean, I think that is an English word, but we say that in German as well. You hold your hand over that, and then you do this to the buzzer, and then you realize that the buzzer is broken. I mean, look. And please take a look at the prompt list. Today, on the 19th of December, it says paper bag handle and slow stitching. I mean, if you know me, then you know that slow stitching is already really like a disaster for me. I hate stitching, except if it's with my sewing machine, but paper bag handle, I mean, really? Okay. Here, there is a paper bag handle, but Barbara, why is this handle attached to this little thing? I mean, how shall I do my slow stitching on this handle when it's already attached here? Huh? Can someone explain? Well, I think Barbara was very enthusiastic and she loves her crocodile really much, so that she has attached this handle here to this thing. So, yeah, nice. Thank you. Thank you for nothing, Barbara. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. Barbara is my big junk journal sister. She's the co-host of Dephemerember. Dephemerember is what's happening here at the moment. If you need information, check out the description box below this video. And Barbara is really intelligent as well. In here, there are the scraps she has sent me with our swap. And she was really nice, or kind, and she has sent this here to me. But, Barbara, what is this? This is too big for my idea. Because today I want to use one of these vintage photos here I found in my stash, and I want to make a paper bag handle frame for these photos. But yeah, so thank you for nothing part 2. I'm just kidding, okay? I mean, how can you survive Dephemerember without kidding? I think that is not possible. And what is also not possible is to do this idea without my paper. I'm sorry, I've put that in here. I want to start this thing with warming up for the slow stitching a little bit, because I hate slow stitching. So I have taken out my embroidery papers. This is a printable from my shop. There are 2 different versions available. There's embroidery paper volume 1 and volume 2. You can check them out by clicking the links down below in the description box. And I want to make my paper bag handles from this paper, because Dephemerember is of course also, no, not also, is about making ephemera for our junk journals. So I want to make my own paper bag handles today instead of using this one here. And a little spoiler, I think is the word. I also want to make a freebie for you with paper bag handles, which you can then print out and use for your own projects. If you want to have these papers, you can get them with 30% off by using this code here in my shop. I hope that you like them and that you like to use them in your journal or journals. It doesn't have to be the Dephemerember journal, of course. Yeah, so color palette. I have some leftovers here, and I think I want to make a total of 2 handles and then choose one of the photos. I think it really doesn't matter which colors we use because the photos are, you know, really neutral, so we can of course use what we want. Barbara has given me some challenges with the colors in the journal, but I think I really like this. Yeah, let's choose this. When we look at this handle, we can see that if we unfold it like this, it's just somehow one long strip. But we can also see that that is here somehow overlapping. That is probably to make it sturdier. So it's made of several layers, I think 2 layers, which are built by folding this whole thing. I think this is a special method to attach this. Perhaps here's even somehow a net or so in it to make this really sturdy, but we don't need that necessarily. But what is important is the method of folding this, because I think that is characteristically for such a thing. So I want to take this, and since my printer has made a little mistake here, I will quickly cut off this first quarter of an inch or so to make sure that there's nothing of this fail print. And then I want to have this a little slimmer than this is. This silver thing here from the machine, I think that that is 1/2 inch, isn't it? So what if we take 2 inches for this strip, because 2 inches is 4 times 1/2 inch. Does that make sense? By the way, have you seen that I cleaned my paper trimmer? That is sometimes necessary. I feel like I have a new paper trimmer here on my desk. So let's do this. Oh no. No, let's not do this. Here is a lot of this grayish color, which is not here. No, that is not so good. I mean, it would work, but I want to try to get more of this gray color to the second strip as well, because of my idea. I think that would make sense. So we have here now some of this, and here, hopefully we will see that later. So then, let's take this thing. Let's put this on here. And now I will score this at 1/2 inch. Then 1 inch, 1.5 inch. Since this board is too short, I turn this around and do the same thing here, so that this goes the whole way along this strip. And I will do exactly the same thing for the other strip as well. Now I take this and I fold this here to the inside. I fold this to the inside, and then the whole thing like so. I do 4 sections here, so that 2 of these things are folded to the middle. I think that here that is different, because look, here's this ugly edge, because it's not done with 4 sections but only 3. But when I take this and fold this now again, then I have a nice edge here and a nice edge here, and that's the reason why I do it like that. So let's do this exact same thing here. Let's now take some glue, and I think it feels nicer when you put the glue only here instead of putting glue in here as well, because if you do it like this, then the whole thing is more squishy somehow. So I will glue the second one here as well. So, and then we have to decide for one of the photos. Somehow I feel like I want to use this here today with this cute couple. Unfortunately, there's no note on the back, but that really doesn't matter. We will make this beautiful in any case, even if we don't know their names. And now we want to fold this strip exactly like this is. And for that, I think it's handy to have something like this where you can measure either such a thing as dirty as possible. I'm really sorry. But I want 2.5 inch here. So I press my fingernail there where this line is, and then I just fold it like so. So I will fold this one here in exactly the same way. And I just realized that this stuff with the colors didn't really work, but okay. Because, you know, some of the colors are now folded to the inside. We will not freak out, definitely not. I made some more of these paper bag handles off camera. And I turned them, ooh, is that close? I turned them into a freebie for you. So you can find this freebie on my website. The link is down below in the description box. Please feel free to print these handles and use them in your junk journal projects. If you want that the handles have a pattern from this side and from the other side, you can either print this one time like it is, and then one time mirrored to then be able to glue these back to back so that they have a pattern on both sides. Or what you also could do is you could just coffee dye the other side or paint the other side with some acrylic paints or watercolors or inks or whatever so that they have a pattern on the other side as well. Now I want to take this and I want to turn this into a frame for this photo, but we need something to put behind here, of course. And for that, I want to use a piece of this. This is just some packaging paper, but it reminds to a paper bag. You could use a piece from a paper bag as well, but this, to be honest, when I started the video, I thought that this was a paper bag, but then I realized that it is perforated here and that it can't be a paper bag, but there's no difference. It's brown, it looks like a paper bag. Yeah, use what you have. You could also take a little I'm just thinking if I want to do that. I'm just thinking if I want to go to my drawer there and take a little paper bag, I mean, which is really a bag instead of just this paper. For my German video, I have taken this, so I'm thinking to show you more options and so that we can later on decide what we like better, we could even take a real bag instead of this. Give me a second. Don't run away. It's really dangerous when I say we could also, and then I go to my stash, because we have several options here. And to be honest, if I would have taken all of the options we have here back to the desk, then the rest of the video would be about options. But what you, of course, could do is you could take a paper bag like this, do this idea on the front of such a bag. I mean, this would be just enough in height to do this, because I want to have this thing around here like so. You could consider to do it like this with a, where are my photos now? Ah, here. With a rectangular photo. It also looks nice when you do it like so and put the handles around there, like, you know, completely, so that the photo has the handles as a frame then, and there's no paper bag showing through between the photo and the handle. But I want to have it like so, because I find that more interesting. But if you would do this, this would even make a really cool cover for a mini journal, because imagine you had this here, you would open this, then you could sew in a signature here. You could also turn this into a tuck spot somehow. If you don't want to make a mini journal, you could make a flip out page in your journal. Imagine you would take this. Too many options. And glue that to a page like this. Then you could have the photo in the frame here and open it like so and have storage possibility here. Then I found this. I got this really cool thing in a Happy Mail. If you know, you know. Here are some gold splatters and some black splatters with acrylic paint. And the colors are just perfect. Look, I'm thinking if I should use half of this paper bag. We could also do it like this and attach it like I just said and open it like so. Then we would have a pocket here for something else. If you want to have it really clean, take a white paper bag. I mean, since this is obviously a marriage, that could look nice as well. But this is not my favorite choice, I would say. And this I also got in a Happy Mail a pretty long time ago. And I thought you could even... Oh, look. Oh my goodness, that is something I haven't thought about before, that now the head of the man is peeking through this hole of this thing, but unfortunately this is not high enough to do that. That is not so bad, but it's also pretty thick. I think I can't handle that in the journal anymore. Sometimes you have to make those decisions. Also, yeah, a little bit egoistically, because I don't want to have an ugly journal in the end. And I think that would happen if I would use the other piece, not because of the piece, but because of the bulk I would make then. And that's the reason why I want to use this thing here. So let's assemble this. I will first take this and just glue this on here. And here's something in there. What is that? Cornetto di pistachio? Unfortunately not. So then we have this. So let's then glue the photo here. This is really cool with the splatters, but here and here I'm missing something. It's relatively empty there. So I have taken out this stamp set, eccentric. It is eccentric. I always don't know how to say this word. CMS 448 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I think I think the pointy finger could look good somehow, because, you know, could then point. It could point to a quote we could add here later, and that would be a nice addition to the photo, but that wouldn't help for these empty corners, Louise. So please take something. Stamp with this. I want this to be really, you know, random. And with the pointy finger, I think we need to do a little trick because it will not show up so well on the photo. Okay, so let's now come to the horror part of this prompt, and that is the slow stitching. I have my basket with embroidery thread here, and I don't know what that is. I mean, you can see it's full. Please don't laugh at me. I have to organize this. I know that, but I couldn't find the time yet. I don't have a thread which is this red. That would be perfect. I mean, this is not the same red, but it would, I mean, it fits together, but I know that I don't have that red in here. So we need, we need another color, and we will use this one here. That was easier than I thought. Let's take a piece of this. Let's do this. I thought, since I hate stitching by hand, how could I make my life easier? I thought about this, and I tried this out already on the other pieces I already made, you know, for my German video. I feel like a broken record, but when I say that, I mean, if you want to see other variations of this, watch the German video. I had this, and I went around with this here to mark where I want to poke my needle into the frame to do the stitching. But the problem was that I couldn't see the marks so well. I did this to get the same distance between the holes, but it was really difficult. So I thought I want to use this, but then additionally poke the holes with my needle. That seems totally weird, but I want to do that because I hate nothing more than when this is not the same distance. So let's do that. You could also go to your sewing machine, remove the thread of your sewing machine, and then sew through this. Then the holes would obviously go through the whole thing in the first step. But I want to give this another try to do it like this, and then take my needle without the embroidery thread and first poke all of the holes. Oh, that worked. Oh, that works surprisingly well. Oh, I have this squishy thing here underneath. Oh, that is really, oh, I'm surprised. Because I think the main thing, what is a problem for me is when I poke my needle from here, from this side to the through the photo, I can see where I want to have the hole. But when I then want to go back from this side to the other side, I can't see where I have to poke so that I get a nice thing here on this side and the hole in the right position. So I think this is a really good thing to make this easier. Oh, I love this. So I will now do the easiest kind of slow stitching you can imagine because that is what I'm able to do. And this seems to be, yeah, like really simple, but, and it is simple, but it is at the same time something that I would normally not do. And that is good because, I mean, then I have done something which I would normally not do. It brought me fun, and that perhaps makes that I will do that more often in the future. And perhaps then there comes, oh no. It is not so simple. Perhaps that makes that I then do this slow stitching in the future more often, and perhaps then also more difficult stitches. I have no idea, but I have hopes. So Let's go all around this photo with this method.
Dephemerember, where hearts unite. With every piece we shine so bright. Across the world our spirits soar, creating together forevermore. From simple scraps to colors bold.
The song you've just heard is our Dephemerember song. You can find the link to download it from my shop down below in the description box. If you want to have it in the full length, perhaps you want to set it as a ringtone for your phone during Dephemerember. I'm really hoping that, or I should say, we are really hoping that you like this song. Barbara and I made this because we thought that it would be a nice addition to Dephemerember to also have this, this feeling of Dephemerember as music. And that's why we made this song. And can someone please tell me what I shall do now? Because when I go in here, it's irregular. Oh. Okay. That is what really, I mean, I will do it. That really drives me crazy, because now here is this edge, and a professional hand stitcher would probably have thought about that before to make such a corner here as well. That is, well, okay, it is what it is. Embrace the imperfection, Tim says. Not the Tim where this paper bag is from, but the other Tim, you know, the Tim. Don't know if you can say that like that in English, but I think you got me. Okay. Now we need a sentiment here. I just found this flashcard because I store that in the same drawer like this. I'm just thinking, would it be too big if I would cut this out? Because this word today would of course make sense here. I have a new baby in my craft room. Look, oh. I have wished for this. Oh, it goes through like butter. I expected that because, I mean, it says Tim Holtz and Tonic Studios. What would you expect? And that it goes through this like butter, of course. But this is like music in my ears. I have wished for this paper trimmer for such a long time, and when I purchased some things the other day, I thought, well, let's throw it into the shopping basket and let's just buy it. So this is like an early Christmas present for myself. So let's see. Is it too big? Would be better here, but then the distance between the tip of the finger and this is too big. But perhaps we can find something here. Why have I cut the U from I'm happiest when I'm with you? I can tell you, because I needed the U for my Tim Holtz studio tour journal years ago. Yeah. I feel so lucky today. Perfect. But I think I can't glue this down because of the irregular levels of the materials there, but we can just take the rest of this flashcard material. By the way, this is a flashcard by Ideology. What do you think about a white backing for this? let's see where we can attach this here in the journal. Here you can see another variation of this idea. This is what I made in the German video. Of course, you can also include, for example, die cuts. I think here it would be really nice because I definitely lost some brain cells during the process of making this. That is what Barbara has put in here, on this page. This is a little bit boring. Just thinking how I could change that, but while I'm thinking about that, I will glue this down, but I will put no glue here to the top, but just on the sides and on the bottom, so that I could also use this as a pocket here. Do you think what I think? I wish I had thought about this before attaching this, but it's always the same thing, isn't it? Why? And yes, I will leave this and not cut it off. Why? Just because. But how to know, where's my needle? Where to put the holes. I will make 2 holes with my needle here so that I'm able to flip this over, so that I then is this possible? I have no idea. Oh, why haven't I thought about that before? Okay. What am I doing here? Okay, so the first thing is done. But how to get the eyelets in there now? I think I have to... Oh my goodness, that is hard. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Ah, no. Okay. If you want to add eyelets and this thing, please do that before you attach this whole thing to your journal, okay? Thank you. I think I can't get this in there. Okay, let's see. I need this to flip open like so. What am I doing here? I'm setting an eyelet. What a question. So now we have this here. Haha. But can we do something here as well? Let's take Life Was Meant for a Great Adventure. Then we have this red here in the background. That is great, isn't it? And this is one of these prompts where one idea leads to another. That is totally great. because, I mean, this is not the same woman on this photo and on this, yeah, but it could be that they are the same woman, and here she is younger and here she got married. I really like that idea. Oh, shall we put this here, or is that too much? I don't like this frame so much, but we could just take this baby from the Tonic Studios family and cut this a little smaller. This is the decal trimmer, and it makes this cool edge so that it looks similar to this and to the photo I have there. There's this interesting edge as well. I think you understand me. I think white splatters would fit the best. Do you know what? I like that at first glance it looks like I had stolen Barbara's idea with the handle and the eyelets, you know, from the other page I've shown you in the beginning. It looks like I had cheated with the stitching because this is obviously machine stitched, and this looks, you know, like a little bit boring at first glance. When you then open it, there's the project. I like that. So I hope that you like this idea as well. I'm really curious what you will come up with. If you want to share your Dephemerember creations with the community, then please use our hashtag Dephemerember. So we can make a check mark here. And then we are already in front of the next weekend. That is just so crazy. So I wish you, I mean, how fast time flies by. So I wish you a very great weekend. And if you want, we can see again on Monday with the prompt altered book page and blackout poetry. Have a very great and creative weekend and see you on Monday. Bye bye. And oh, don't forget to check out Barbara's video to see what she has created for today's prompt. Bye bye.